I know.
I won't say.
What does he know?
I won't say.
but you don't know which one though.
I know which one. I know which one.
Nah, he's not the one you.
I have an idea.
I know which one.
Not the one you thinking.
Okay. We'll see about tomorrow morning.
We'll see. All right.
It's a matchup, though. It's a good matchup.
I'm going for the upset.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going with the upset on this one.
You gotta look at it. Kenny do got DK Metcalf, but I do have DK Metcalf quarterback, so that should work in my favor.
That cancels out. Should cancel out. Whoa,
I'm gonna go with Dub on this one, just because I saw Frank Gore. Bruh, Frank Gore been playing since like 2005.
Dang.
Still trucking.
You know, I'm interested in the movie he's making.
Who?
Dub. I'm interested in one of the roster moves. I'm not gonna speak on it, but looking at the matchups. I think I got the upset this week. I'm going with Squaw.
I'm going with Squaw. I'm going for the upset.
Yeah, we'll go for the upset.
I'm gonna go with Swat too. Yeah, I like Swat.
I bet you would. Bet you would.
But no, I'll go with myself just because of the matchup that I see that Cheney has. Like he got Josh Allen going up against New England, which is favorable on his side. But you got James Conner going against Baltimore defense.
Yeah.
And even though I'm starting Russell Wilson, I don't expect a big game from him going up against San Francisco. So that might.
He always plays well, though.
What was that?
He always plays well against San Fran.
What was that?
He always plays well against San Fran, so I'm not worried about it. When it comes to Russell Wilson, I'm not worried about his matchups. That he's the kind of quarterback I don't worry about who he's playing against. I don't. Me personally.
And he's starting Fogan against Dallas. That's a good start.
Like I said, if you have any players going against Dallas, start them.
But I think this will be the highest score matchup we have this week. This game right here.
Yeah, but as far as Vertini, he got a few adjustments that I know he's going to make. So this is not even his final roster yet. So
yeah, I don't think so either. That's what I said. That's why I said questionable moves, but
it's on purpose.
This will be high scoring. This will be high scoring.
Yeah,
every week. So he's got to go with the mind games already.
I think this is going to be game of the week. Teeny make some adjustments. Whew, Swah. I don't know, buddy. I'm going for the upset, but
I'm going with Boulay on this one.
I'm sticking with mine. I'm going with Swah.
Yeah,
I'm going with Gertina on this one.
My gut tells me Swah.
Ooh. Thank you. I hope I get the win, man. I'm trying to get to 500.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I hear you on that.
I'm trying to get to 500.
I hear you on that.
That's it. That's all the matchups, you guys. That's all the matchup. Wesley, you ready?
And listen, last but certainly not least, we got tiers. So let me give a quick preview, and how we do these tiers. We have 4 tiers. these tiers will fluctuate week to week. Now, with these tiers, I did a lot of research. I looked at your roster. I looked at how your team's performing. I looked at your key players and how they've been producing this year compared to their expectations. Took some time, into looking into this. Some may feel like they should be higher. Some may feel like some should be lower. Whatever the case may be, it is my personal opinion. Without further ado, we're going to start from the bottom up. Now, we have 4 tiers like I explained. Now, just because you may be in a particular tier does not mean, you may not make the playoffs or you may not even compete for a championship. I'm going based off the first 7 weeks. What have you done? What have you done? What have you done? Strictly on that. Potential does weigh into my tiers. For example, if you have key injuries to a couple starters that are on the bench, I do factor that in to see whether it'll be back in 3-4 weeks. I'll factor that into where I place you in those tiers. So some of this is projection moving forward, but this is mainly what you have done right now as we sit. So I'm going to start with Tier 4. Tier 4 will be the bubble, and we have Fight to the End and Polo. Mainly with Polo, he's had a lot of injuries on his team, and there's not much more I can say. His team is just decimated with injuries. If you guys can tell me how he can find his way to maybe another tier, please let me know. But I don't see him getting out that bottom tier with the injuries. With RD, a lot of it's been underperforming. His team every year, on paper has a lot of potential, but no key wins to note of, and I don't know. I just feel like he's one of those teams that looks good, but mostly too good to be true. My personal opinion. What's your thought on the first 4th tier?
Understandable. I agree with them.
Okay.
I agree.
I think as far as Rock, depending on certain decisions he make, he can be a wild card.
Yeah, and that's definitely possible. Raj has the potential to be in that wild card category, but he's going to need some good things to happen his way. He's going to need to start racking up some wins.
Yeah. You're going to need some wins, and you're going to need some people to lose.
There you go. But now that's a great segue into Tier 3, which is the wild card round. Now, let me give a definition of wild card. It's no different than the NFL playoff, baseball, whatever the case may be. Wild cards can win championships. That has definitely happened, and it's definitely possible. With the wild card round, these teams, I believe, are on the fringe, or I would say fragile, or, there's a lot that can happen that can have this team, possibly missing out on the playoffs, whether it be lack of points being scored currently as it sits. With these 4 teams that I have in the wild card round, they're in the middle to below in regards to the point category. So if it came down to tiebreakers, they could miss out on the playoff spot just due to points alone. But also, I would say their team strength. They may have, decent records, but with our league, there's so many teams that are bunched up together. It is very easily that one team could be left out, just due to a tiebreaker. And it's happened in years prior where you have a team that's, say 8-6 or 7-6. Good record, has, racked up some wins, but not good enough to make the playoffs. This is the wild card round. In this wild card round, we have the 4 teams that follows. We have David, Jack, Avery, and Mr. Spicer himself. Now, with Tier 3, I ranked them 1 to 4. So at number 1 in this Tier 3 category, I have Mr. Spicy as the highest ranked wild card team, which means it is highly likely that with another solid win, he'll be in that Tier 2 category. But if he were to suffer a loss, he wouldn't fall so far out of Tier 3. He's a solid Tier 3, borderline Tier 2. But right now, I place him as a top Tier 3 team. Similar with Avery. Like his roster, the thing that's hurting his team is that high output. These teams, other than Spicy himself, doesn't have that high output that you want from a playoff caliber or a championship caliber team. And to win in this league, you need to score points. Winning matters. Scoring matters just as much. At the end of the day, you have to get in. And when you get in, it's about how much can you score when it matters most. What's your thoughts and opinions?
I'll start. I'll say as far as Mr. Spicy, if he sneaks into the playoffs, he'll give somebody trouble.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's my game plan, just to creep in there. Unbeknownst.
You might get 2 playoff wins. You might. That's why I'm like, that's why I made the case that he could be a Tier 2, just off the fact that you beat 3 number 1 teams.
Listen,
yeah,
wild cards are very dangerous. I'll be honest with you. He's a team that you would not want to face if he sneaks into the playoffs. But obviously, if he sneaks in the playoffs, he's no longer a Tier 3. He's a definite Tier 2. But
I was just looking at it from this standpoint. If we start the playoffs, I get what you're saying, and I totally accept it. But if we start the playoffs today, I'm in there.
Oh, definitely. Wild cards always get in. That's a fact. But those are my Tier 3s. And like I said, these fluctuate week to week. Injuries to a roster, key pickups, key spicy trades. Like I said, anything can literally bump you up to the next tier or drop you out of this tier. So, like I said, it's always a week-to-week thing. You got to keep working. But
yeah.
With that being said,
I'll accept it.
All right. With that being said, let's get it Tier 2. Now, Tier 2 is what we call playoff caliber. These are the teams that, with conviction, I expect to be in the playoffs. I don't have to question it. I expect these teams to be there, whether it be a 6 seed or a 1 seed. I expect these teams to find their way in. Let's start from the top. We have Marv as the highest ranked 2 seed in Tier 2, followed by another one. You have myself, Steve-O, and Dub. Now, with these Tier 2s, it did not go by record, as you can see. I took record out of it. I looked at roster. I looked at performance. Wins, yes, but I'm looking at points. How much did you score? Like I said, we're all within a game or two of each other. So there's no great separation in regards to one team being completely better than another. So I took the first 7 weeks. I looked at, how tough your matchups were, how much you've been scoring, has your team been living up to its potential, how often do you, surpass your, projected scores. Took all that into consideration. And, for example, with Marvin, he doesn't have the best record, but I have him as the highest ranked Tier 2 mainly because of, scoring output. His team is high scoring. As you can see, previous week he had the high scoring output in the whole season. When you see performances like that lets me know, hey, that team can actually, make a run at it. It wasn't a fluke because, like I said, he's ranked number 1 in points. So those are the kind of things I look at. Same thing as another one, or whatever his name is now. I got the keys. Second highest rated scorer in the league we have right now. As you guys may know, in the 7 years we've been doing this, if you can score, you have a shot at winning it. It's literally that simple. Record means nothing once playoff starts. It's about how you perform when it matters, which is why I have myself as a Tier 2 as well, one of the highest scoring teams out there. Like I said, points is something that really matters. The only reason why I dropped Steve and Dub